Where's my dad? I'm all
Paw,
alone.
Papa.
Crazy you don't know about the children's production of Finding Nemo, the musical.
Well, I'm gonna watch it after this.
It's real good. We were just in Ojai, California. You know, you know.
Ohio.
And by 2 days, we met the children's production of How to Train Your Dragon, the musical.
Yo, How to Train Your Dragon, top 5 all-time movie for me.
What about the kids' musical, local production?
Probably still top 5 all-time for me. The off Broadway production.
We went to go see a Grateful Dead cover band. And I was asking Kathy, I was like, be honest with me. Would you rather go see that kid's musical of How to Train Your Dragon or this cover band tonight? Very quick answer.
Really?
Dragon musical. Yeah.
And
I was like, honestly,
Kathy the best. Kathy's just the absolute best.
Kind of agree. I've seen a million Dead cover shows, but I've never seen a bunch of local 12-year-olds sing about Toothless.
How'd it go, though? It was great.
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah. They started set 2 with Scarlet Fire, man. The place was bumping.
Incredible.
One disappointing note on at least the one production of the How to Train Your Dragon musical I found on YouTube. They didn't have like a big puppet. They just had a girl with a tail and little ears playing Toothless.
Dude, this was such a good opportunity for a wagon.
Yes, I know. That's my canon.
You know how I know
Toothless
that character, their set design must have really sucked because you didn't text me a picture of the wyvern dragon looking thing. Like, if there was any inclination, it looked like a dragon.
Actually, the version I saw was a bunch of kids in Central Park. So you could have, in theory, could have gone.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I was sending you pictures of a Jesus on a donkey, comparing it to Oleg and the Vertuk.
Yeah, the only person who's ever. Okay, we gotta stop doing what we're doing.
Do you want to see the Lego I made?
Stunning. How long did that take?
Like 20 minutes.
Travis showing me Lego flowers.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube. You can get
the medical receptionist special. The Lego flowers. Do you want to go? You want to go to Greece?
Oh, you betcha I do.
Can I get you some olive tapenade?
Oh God, I just want to cover myself and bathe myself in olive oil.
I wasn't expecting Odysseus to lube himself up with olive oil.
He gets
that feels like
a
almost offensive joke someone would make about Italians. But
one of my favorite parts of the entire book was when he's been gone from Calypso for like 6 days before he washes up on the island of nymphs. And he's like, a warm bath. I'm not accustomed to being cared for like this. It's been ages since I left the house of Calypso. It's like, brother, you've been gone less than a week.
Let us not forget, Odysseus is a very fancy boy.
Odysseus wants to be pampered. And in fact, most of the conflict of the novel is when he's not pampered to his liking.
Pamper me.
Literally, he goes to every island and he just asks for gifts. And then the only times he gets in fights are when people are like, no.
We're going to get into the vanity of Greek culture later.
Yes.
But not now. Okay. No. What are we doing today?
Well, our good friend John Homer penned one hell of a story.
That man recited probably at some point and then wrote a long-ass poem that is only partly about the Odyssey.
The Odyssey is a pretty short segment of it, actually.
The Odyssey comprises the middle third of the Odyssey. The rest is his son running around and listening to other people's Odysseys, and then a wacky revenge tale.
I also think it's funny that the Odyssey is just told by Odysseus, and nobody is there to back up anything that he says.
You know what, John Homer? Do we have is this Quoth? Is he the proto-Quoth?
Yes.
Wow. This is great.
The most unreliable of narrators.
Okay.
But here we're talking about the book and a movie. Bang, bang.
We read the book. We saw the movie. We listened to the soundtrack.
We heard the bowstring pluck.
We DM'd Travis Scott to see if he'd come on. Did not respond.
John Homer himself wouldn't come on the pod.
John Homer, unfortunately, many thousands of years dead, if he existed at all. Okay, well, let's just rip it. Okay, I think there's no good way to do this because we can't just like talk about the Cyclops and then in 30 minutes talk about the Cyclops. Or we could. I'm going to ask you a question.
I have a place to start.
Yeah, hit me. I'm floundering.
The preview of Other Mommy in the movie theater.
I don't think I made it to that.
Oh my God.
Did it look good?
No, it's the most jarring and horrific thing I'd ever seen. And it was turned up to like 400 decibels.
400 decibels will come up again. Was your theater, did y'all have the Trojan horse sissy that you can fill with popcorn?
No, they weren't selling it.
Fuck. Yeah, I was at a Regal, so I think that's an AMC thing.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if that was a real.
It might have just been sold out, but I had a fat bowl of popcorn and we smoked a couple Jiminy's before the movie.
Doobies.
Yeah,
Rolling
and it
doobies.
was with the boys. We had a 7-deep lads showing of the Odyssey.
Man, boys really do come out for the Greeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever want to hit a doobie for a movie that's over 2 hours long, especially when seeing it in a recliner.
Yeah.
It's risky business, baby.
Luckily, I couldn't fall asleep because it was the loudest movie I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a bit of a fight or flight response to my iMac. I also got the vibrating saddle seat, like fucking erection chairs which was not great for the bass boosted Christopher Nolan movie.
Did you see 4DX? Was it in 4DX?
No. There's no like wind and waves, but it did have like haptic seats when there was heavy bass, which somehow was the entire movie. So I was just getting like teeth rattled for 2.5 hours.
I did see some clips of people in the true 4DX theaters just getting thrown around in the waves. That actually looked kind of fun. I mean, if you're going to go, just go all in.
Go all in. I mean, we did go second row IMAX.
Bold.
Got to see Tom Holland's giant curved face.
Oh,
loved it.
He's so good at not having an expression.
Man, if you need a hapless boy in your film, give him a call.
If you need a somewhat forgettable, perfect role player.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. He's not a bad actor. Yeah,
He's not bad at all. And I actually genuinely like his personality from interviews and what I've seen of him. So
he's like the perfect. Is he the exact middle ground between like Michael Cera and Jason Statham?
Yeah, I think so.
No, he was closer to Cera on the Cera to Statham spectrum.
No, he's an action star. He's a Marvel superhero,
but has a bit of Cera energy about him.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's actually perfectly in the middle ground.
Excellent. Okay. We'll make sure to revisit this spectrum on future episodes. Yeah. Okay.
Well, how'd you feel about the movie?
Not
Are you a Christopher Nolan guy?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I haven't seen a tremendous number of his films, and those that I've seen, I just kind of liked.
They were just okay.
I've seen all the Batmans. I'm not a superhero guy, so they were like good superhero movies. Inception was the first time I smoked weed in public, so that was very memorable experience for me. So I hold that dear, but like, am I ride or die for Inception? I don't know. I haven't seen it since I was like 21.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've always loved the soundtracks. I love the spectacle of the movies he makes. Like, there's scenes from Dark Knight and Inception that I'm always going to remember. So I think he does a great job of like these huge practical effects set pieces. And I think he's a guy who's been carried by really good actors in some of those movies. Like, I think about Heath Ledger, like I think about Bale. Like, there's some really good performances.
Was he carried, or did he just give them a great platform to rock out?
I think a little bit of both. He gave them a huge budget and really cool effects, but I don't think the writing, especially dialogue for Nolan, has ever been something I'm a huge fan of.
I know. Yeah, I think that's where I land, is like, for a guy making blockbusters, popcorn movies, unbelievable at it. Like, you're not going to have a bad time, but like, I don't know that man will ever bring tears to my eyes in a movie. But I mean, that's totally fine. Like, and I don't know. I think it's like rarer and rarer that there's a movie or a TV show or anything that it feels like the whole world is seeing, and he sort of has that power.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying having like a true water cooler moment, especially about something that's like pretty close to the things we love. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's come up in conversation so much. And I think one thing he is really good at is like, he understands the mechanisms of what people want to see in film. Like, he understands the tropes and the character design and the set pieces and like the heroism. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's clearly a student of this stuff. Like, it's very purposeful.
It's not nearly as far down this road as the book Project Hail Mary, but he's there to please, man.
Yeah, and he's not quite Michael
Bay.
Bay.
Volume, like, no, okay, not
Michael
so
Bay,
much boom boom, but
Michael Bay who has been very honest that he's making movies for his 13-year-old self. You know, Nolan is not that.
No,
But he does love a
Um,
big action sequence. He's pretty good
he
at it.
does. He does. So I don't know. We'll leave further discussions for it. But all in all, what did you think of the movie?
Okay, all in all, I had a great time. Like,
Yeah.
I had a blast. I went with friends. I had popcorn. It was loud. We had good, like, it did all the things a fun
Yes.
movie. Like, it's the same level of movie going for me as like Top Gun or Mission Impossible. Like, I went,
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting. I had a great time. There
That's
were
me and
parts,
Twisters.
yeah, Twisters was so good. There were parts where I was like, man, why is this so sad and melancholy and like dimly lit? And where'd all the sex go?
Yeah.
So like, I think he made some choices to make it like a very soul seeking, where are my morals? What is society kind of thing. I don't think it had to be like that, but that was his choice and he made it and he did a pretty good job of it. And the movie looked incredible. So yeah, I didn't have any complaints.
Yeah.
What'd you
Technical
think?
showcase. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It sounded great. It looked great. I loved the cast. Like, I had a great time. I like talking to my coworkers about it. I got my favorite Cookie Bites candy, which no one else seems to enjoy or know exists.
I know that.
Look,
I know that exists, but
yeah,
I
in
do
the red
Bunch of
box.
Crunch.
Those things rip. But I on the more negative side, I do think it left me a little cold. It didn't really make me feel anything, which could be my fault. And I do think I don't know, it felt like it wanted to try to say something about war and the maybe 400 to 500 references to Zeus's law and all of this.
The people from the sea. It's us.
I don't think it said it that well, and I think what it was trying to say wasn't particularly interesting to me, even though I'm like always down for an anti-war movie. But I don't know. I think like love thy neighbor as a message is we've heard that a couple times. I could have used like a more interesting spin on it.
It
But
definitely hit you over the head with the message.
yeah,
our
which
age
is
of bronze is ending.
If the message is going to be love thy neighbor, I think you can deliver it a little more subtly.
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
I don't think he had to tell us the sea people were
the sea people.
They were the sea people at the end. Like, I think that would have been fun to infer and have as a little bit of a, not hidden message, but a little bit more of a subtle message.
Yeah. Our age of bronze was a really special moment in the film that I didn't love.
No. What did you? I would put it. That's pretty much my lowest point, along with riding off into the sunset in a sailboat.
High point. Somebody get these beggars out of here while smiling for some reason.
Okay, maybe let's talk about the actors. I thought Robert Pattinson was elite.
Can you give me a? Oh, we should just okay. Let's just tier rank these guys real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Can you pull up the cast quick, or you want me to get it?
Yeah,
I got it.
Okay, you got it. You're faster.
So I got my loudest, clickiest keyboard. Let's see if that makes it into the final edit. Okay. Well, we got to start with the top, right?
Yeah. S tier.
Good Will Hunting himself, Matthew Damon. Is this like over all performances or in the context of the movie?
I think it has to be in the context of the movie, not tier list generally.
Yeah, that's not fair to be like, is this one of the best performances? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're good.
I also haven't seen every movie of everyone in it. I'm going to put Matt Damon as like a B+ for me.
We're doing tiers. It's A through F.
I'll put him in.
Okay, so top of B performance?
Top of B.
I'm going to go S because he was kind of my favorite guy in the movie.
I mean, he is the guy of the movie.
I thought he did a really good job.
I think he did a really good job with what he was given. I just don't think he was given enough. He was a very like flat character for me. This will get into the book discussion, but like Odysseus is a very multifaceted. He's a trickster. He's a prankster. He's funny. He's flirty.
He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. Oh, watch me throw this discus. But in this movie, he was either just fighting or sad, and I didn't love it.
It is wild to go from reading the book with just like the king of charisma, wits and trickster to sad, brooding old man.
Yeah,
who really misses his wife. Yeah. I think
he did very well at that,
because I really did think the script was pretty weak.
Yeah,
and he kind of turned lemons into lemonade a little bit because there were some other people who choked on some of these horrible lines. And
I could bump him into my A tier, like an A
Yeah.
for me, and we could compromise
Okay.
between B and S.
Next up, straight from the Sarah Statham spectrum, give me Tommy Holland. Where are you putting him?
Fine. He was fine. He wasn't great. I didn't think he like actually showed a lot of emotion in the scenes where he's arguing with his mom. B. He's a B.
I tend to agree. But it was such a weird contrast in the scenes with Penelope because
Yeah.
she, by my count, was grossly overacting. And he was perhaps underacting. And it was
Right.
just like weird having her like scream and spit all over the place. And then him be like, but mom, like, I just think the connection of those two modes of acting was really strange to me.
Yeah.
And made them both look a little worse.
I do think the last third, like the last act, he did very well. So most of my criticism is actually more for the beginning. And it's not about him being like a whiny kid, because that's what he is. But yeah, from like the Anne Hathaway mom chats to the temple fight scene, I didn't like him, but I kind of liked him on either end of it.
I think I'm warmer on him than you, because I took like a little bit of his flatness and whatever as like he's a young kid, but he really is doing his best to be mature in this kind of shitty circumstance, like deal with the suitors. He like really does control his temper around the suitors too.
True. He does a
which
good
I
job.
thought was like pretty impressive for someone of that age. So I don't know. I liked him. I don't know, some of the better story moments for me were like watching him just try to navigate that. It's like a thing that I wasn't expecting to enjoy that I kind of enjoyed.
I would say, especially, that's cool to hear from you, because I feel like those are the segments you didn't enjoy in the book. The
hard skim.
Yeah. And so for him to actually like make that enjoyable in the movie,
Okay.
that's a big win for you.
Okay. Let's speed up here. Anne Hathaway as Penelope.
Dude, she was doing too much, man.
She was not
doing
great.
way too much.
That's a D for me.
Yeah, C.
Yeah.
Just chill a little.
Honestly, she wasn't in the movie a tremendous amount. Like, and I think it's really tough to separate script from performance too. Like if they're telling her like, hey, I need you to scream and cry and spit on your son here, she's gonna do that. Like, whatever. Okay. Athena herself, Zendaya.
F.
What? How can she get an F? She barely has any lines.
That's the point.
So you're rating the character an F.
I obviously am rating the character. I'm rating the script an F with its use of Athena.
You know what line I can't forget, and I don't know why? When they're on the Cyclops Island, Matt Damon sees a sheep and he says, "Sheep travel in flocks. Let's follow." Like, who wrote this? What was that delivery? Can we pause to discuss? Did the American accents and modern diction bother you at all?
No, I didn't care.
I'm a self-hating American. I think
it's an American movie.
I need my Greeks to be British. That's what I learned.
Well, what do you need them to wear? All the right armor and stuff too. I don't care about any of that. To be honest.
I love the fake armor. Are you kidding me? Agamemnon? Looking like a goddamn Avenger?
Agamemnon looked sick.
Agamemnon canonically 8 feet tall, 450 pounds.
No, Zendaya got one line in the movie. Like she just stared mournfully at Odysseus.
I'm excited to talk about Athena in the sort of book to movie comparison, just as a way of discussing gods generally. All right, let's bang out the last few. Robert Pattinson is Antinous.
S.
I hated him. I hated his ass. Yeah.
No, that's the point. He did such a good job of it.
I know he did it. Congrats. He was
he's an easy. I feel like he's the locked in S for everyone who watched the movie.
Yeah, he was kind of a star.
I mean, he's the actor of our generation.
You've been on this for a while, right?
I've been on this for years.
Yeah. Did you hear this? That he was the only guy who asked for the script?
I mean, you gotta do some
Everyone else
proofreading.
is like, yeah, okay, Chris, I'll be in your movie. Any other actors you want to throw on here? I feel like we covered
Elliot Page, Sinan.
C.
Yeah, I'd go solid B.
Kind of like slightly awkward performance, but interesting addition. Like,
I think so.
To the film.
Like kind of a new character arc compared to the book,
and just like being in the opening scene, which was a really cool way to start the film with like the horse buried in the sand.
I actually thought that was an awesome opener.
But it was like instantly iconic visual there.
Charlize Theron.
That's an F for me, dude.
You didn't like her?
I thought she was terrible.
She was pretty cute though.
No. She's looking like she's a little Michael Jackson-y at this point, man.
Yeah.
What happened to aging grace? What happened to mellowing with age?
Oh yeah.
What happened to not
Let's get into
whittling your
that.
nose down to the tiniest piece of cartilage?
It is a little nub, man. That was shocking.
It's
Little
sad.
teeny tiny
It's just
nub.
like, you know,
You need
people
those to
get
smell.
It's gonna turn into Voldemort. God damn.
You need those to do cocaine in
Well,
Hollywood.
I hope she's doing good.
Hope she's doing good. I actually liked her. I thought it was totally fine by me.
Yeah.
But I can understand your F.
Previewed before the show, but I think I do like some of the changes that they made, like consolidating storylines with Calypso and Lotus Eaters. So we'll get there. Okay.
I think that was all the main. That's all the main guys. Argo the dog.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, S.
I was really expecting Argo the dog to not be in the book, but he was.
He's totally in the book.
He's totally in the book. I thought that was a Nolan original.
It's a shot for shot.
Should have been a cat, but alas. I can't do people like dogs.
Okay, well, we're pretty much on line with all of that. There were some banger performances, and I think honestly, good actors with bad scripts.
Yeah. We're not here for the script, though. Come on.
No.
Okay. Do you want to step through the events of the Odyssey, or do you want to approach this a different way?
Yeah.
We could just go island hopping.
Yeah, we can go like main points of the books that we thought. Like, I'm kind of interested to talk about some of the key differences between book and movie and how I felt about them. That's my big goal for it.
Okay. Then do you mind if we do the actual Odyssey as opposed to lingering with Telemachus for an hour?
A really long amount of time. I think, okay, before we do though, I do think one of the biggest things for me in books like 1 through 5, which is kind of like 1 through 4, which is kind of like
it's right now when it kicks off.
Yeah, is just the use of the gods. Like a huge decision by Nolan to not put, I mean, he has Zendaya as Athena, but there's no other mention or caricature of the gods versus the book where it's like, we're getting scenes with Hermes negotiating, like Zeus arguing, like we've got a council.
For the folks who just saw the movie and haven't read it, the book begins with like a council of the gods and Athena like making her case to everyone else, saying like, hey, there's this wonderful, handsome man who's good at discus, and he's trapped by Calypso, and he suffered enough. We got to go help him. And Athena is just all throughout this story.
Yeah.
Like there's very little that happens that doesn't have her fingerprints on it in some way. Like she even goes down like right after they decide to help Odysseus and goes and tells Telemachus like, hey, your dad's probably alive. You should go investigate. Which leads me to a question I want to ask before I forget. They're gods. Why don't they just fucking help him, man? Why does it always have to be some cryptic weird bullshit where they give him a scarf and make him swim and then tell him to go do a prophecy? Why can't they just help him? And why can't they just tell Telemachus, like, hey, your dad's definitely good. He's right here. And he'll be back, as soon as he can, barring more Poseidon stuff.
I'd disagree with that take. They help pretty directly. There are times
but it's never like, and I sent a giant bird and flew him home.
Sure, because they want entertainment. Gods are bored. They sit up there and they look at the follies of men and they get excited when somebody is interesting. And that's the whole point of the council is like, yo, Poseidon's being a little bitch. This Odysseus guy is pretty cool.
And Poseidon ain't home right now.
Yeah. So let's mess around. But I think there's also a caste system within the order of the gods, right? Like Zeus and Poseidon are the daddies. And, if Athena and Hermes can only do so much, lest they incur the wrath of the major gods. So
exactly,
they have to, put it in Odysseus's hands to control his own fate to a certain degree.
To those who have not read the book, how would you characterize the gods in the context of the Odyssey?
Petty, vindictive little bitches.
Meddlesome. Nasty sense of humor.
Yeah.
And you know what they love more than anything? A good burned thigh bone.
Yes, they love sacrifice.
As compared to every other book I've read, this by far has the most burned thigh bones. That's like, here's my question. And for context, if you haven't read the book, that's the good sacrifice, baby. Mm-hmm. You get a thigh bone all wrapped up in fat and you burn it. The gods go nuts for that. It's like their catnip. Why do the gods like sacrifices of thigh bones or really anything else?
I think they just are greedy.
Just power trip. You're like,
Yeah, man.
hey,
Like,
go do
give me a
some
bigger,
stupid shit
give me a
for me,
bigger
man.
sacrifice. Yeah, it's weird because in the movie, the only sacrifice they do is for the underworld, where they bleed out to
Yes.
calves, I guess. I can't remember.
Sheeps.
I can't remember.
I
Sheeps.
thought they were sheeps.
But in the book, every chapter has a multi-page sacrifice ritual, and it is incredibly important before you ever get on a ship that you kill at least a dozen animals.
Yeah, and like a bunch of bad shit happens to characters throughout the story for either sacrificing wrongly or not sacrificing enough or at all. It's a big, it's got to be on your checklist before you
It's like,
travel anywhere.
it's an upvote for a god. They want popularity. They want favor, So,
Hey, do a cartwheel for me.
yeah.
Thank you. Hey, you didn't do your cartwheel.
I was like,
I'm going to
you
slash
wouldn't do
your
that.
tires.
You wouldn't do that for Ares, that little bitch.
You did a cartwheel for Helios, but not for me. Oh my God, smite.
But also the god gossip in the book is so good. Like when Ares and Aphrodite sleep together and Hephaestus's forge when he's gone.
And is it Circe or Calypso who throws an absolute hissy fit and is like, the male gods get to fuck mortals all the time, but I fuck one mortal and everyone goes nuts.
Calypso was a very valid point.
Yeah. Look at that. John Homer understands the plight of women. It's a commentary on sexism more than anything.
I'll actually pick that up and say one of the things I was disappointed with Nolan's adaptation is that the women are very one-dimensional. Versus the book, generally they're more scheming and independent and funny. And in the movie, they're just either angry or like witches.
Delivering the loudest scream ever put to film. Thank you, Lupita. You scared the absolute fuck out of me.
Yeah, I thought the depiction of Helen was actually like the best of anyone because she just at least had a personality.
Yeah,
even if it wasn't good
and
or one I liked. Like,
and the like short montage that they did was very interesting.
Yeah.
I do not know how we got here. We were talking about the gods, and
because there's so much in the first few books versus how the movie starts off.
So I feel like we just went on about how they are in the book. What did you think about the depiction of the gods in the movie? Because I feel like the signature line is Zendaya's Athena saying like, the gods are everywhere. Like, when you see the waves or the lightning or whatever, those are the gods, which, has an obvious appeal to like a modern audience. But what do you think as an adaptation choice?
Yeah. I mean, I think he tied it to hospitality and Zeus's law, like more generally. Like,
I love hospitality.
Yeah. I mean, it's the assumption,
right?
Home. It's the assumption that every beggar could be a god in disguise, which is why the rule is like to treat beggars with hospitality.
Which I thought was a very cynical permutation of the golden rule.
Right. It's
like,
don't
be nice to people because they're people and they're just like you. They could be a god.
It's like, once you know they're not a god, fuck them up. Doesn't matter.
Spank them. Yeah. Throw them out. Make them sleep on the grass.
A rich family or a god. So, they kind of alluded to that. I was definitely disappointed because I think Athena does the best in the book of always taking the form of somebody else and kind of like nudging the story along. And they never did it in the movie. Like, she could have been someone.
Of like all the directors.
Yeah.
He loves trickery and weird time shit. Like, having like a shape-shifting god could have been so interesting.
Right. Even just to use for Mentor as an example. So in the book, Mentor, the character is Athena in disguise, and she's the one who pushes Telemachus to go, get the truth about his father. And in the movie, he's just a dude with a sword.
What if we made Athena in disguise a sparring partner who doesn't speak?
Yeah. I was really surprised there wasn't some sort of interesting, disguise or like witchy sequence. I don't know.
I could imagine, like, clearly he came in with this idea of Xenia and Zeus's law, and he wanted to say something about war. And I think so many of the events in the book are precipitated by the whims of the petty gods that it might have been hard to make those two things coexist. I just don't know how you square that circle.
Yeah. I mean, and there's also the truth that like the gods were totally fine with war. And who else was totally fine with war was Odysseus in the book. Like, Odysseus cries in the book because his friends died, and he's tired of being on the road. He does not
but the
cry
burning
because of
and
the
pillaging, honestly,
atrocities.
those were the good days.
Yeah.
He misses that.
What was the quote? After dragging their wives from the city with a great deal of booty as well. It's like his first brag when he tells his
I'm
story.
so sad that I also highlighted the word booty. What is wrong with us?
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Does that cover the gods more or less? Other than what is he? Poseidon Earthshaker?
Yes.
That's what he's going by. He's
Sick
a
name.
motherfucker, man.
Yeah, dude. He's
really vindictive god.
And we don't really get a lot of his actual personality in the book. Like he doesn't speak a lot like some of the other gods, but he doesn't give up a grudge whatsoever.
High up in the pantheon and really is down to dish out some pain to mortals. So
yeah. Well, I guess there's the one thing I thought was interesting is that Nolan kind of makes the arguments, was it post Calypso, that he just needs to prostrate himself in front of the gods. He needs to give himself to Poseidon fully.
Yeah.
And that's going to be enough to kind of reset his fortune. I don't know. What did you think of that take? Because it's not really how it works in the book and also in like Greek mythology.
No, it's not, because the gods are irrational and vindictive. Like it simply does not work that way. And I think in the somewhat incendiary Emily Wilson review of the film, she does talk about like the film kind of wants to have it both ways, where it like both praises Odysseus for kind of thumbing his nose at the gods, but then also like says that's hubris in a way.
Right.
And I don't know. Her review, by the way, she's one of the like notable kind of modern translators of the poem. There's a lot to be said about her review, and it was maybe a bit mean. That said, Christopher Nolan could take it to the tune of the $1 billion he just made. But I did tend to agree with that take about just like it sort of wasn't clear about what it means to either succumb to the gods or say fuck them. You know?
Yeah. And I think we'll get into some of the critiques and criticism of the film generally. She certainly damned it with faint praise, was the way that I read the entire thing. Like it certainly made an impression. I would have been embarrassed to write it, though. Is
faint praise the part where she said, I am glad I did not write any part of this script? Like,
at no point does she say she didn't enjoy it. That's the funny thing. She's like, my kids had fun and I made a big impression and like blah, blah. Like she never flat out says, I didn't like this movie.
It's like she went through, she's probably a mean person because you can tell she had to go through some sort of HR training. They're like, hey, when you're giving feedback to your students, start with something nice. Don't just lead with this was ass. Because that's how the review starts with like, I took my kids. We had a really good time. Yeah. Anyways, worst script I've ever read. This guy doesn't understand the Odyssey. You do you, Emily Wilson. That rocked. I had a great time reading it.
Yeah.
And again,
man.
Chris can take it.
Chris can take it. Take us into the Odyssey, man.
Bull by the horns?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fucking Cyclops.
Let's go.
We'll get to Calypso later. I don't care.
Get into the episodes,
talk about the Cyclops, baby. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
I don't even know why this is the question I'm asking. I'm going to ask it. Book or movie version better?
John Goodman, best Cyclops.
He is unfortunately the best Cyclops. What he did to the Soggy Bottom Boys, I will never forget.
Also, I'm going to say this at some point. That's my favorite Odyssey adaptation, and it always will be. Oh, brother, where art thou? If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about. It's fantastic.
My big one has just been saying that the Lego movie is better than the Odyssey, which I genuinely believe, but people don't think that I do. It's okay.
Everything is awesome.
Entitled to their own opinion, man. Everything is awesome when you're part of the Odysseus.
But genuinely, the book, okay, they're totally different for me.
They're dramatically different.
Yeah. I was like trying to make some comparisons. Okay, I'll tell you what I liked about each, maybe, prefacing that the book was my favorite. In the book, it's a fun debate. It's like a counter to Odysseus's greed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here for gifts and Zeus's hospitality. Cyclops is like, fuck you. I'll eat you last.
And your gift to me is I'm eating your men.
Yeah.
Delicious.
And of course, you get the classic, who's hurting you? No one, because Odysseus is a little prankster.
Yeah.
So I think it was, for me, it was like a comedic scene in the Odyssey. Like I was laughing. It was funny. It was a fun read. And then in the movie, it is genuinely terrifying. Like it is screaming and guttural noises and like,
I think I might be a crazy person. I sort of found it a little comedic in the movie. I think, like, I truly just think the way the Cyclops looked with his, like, where his penis should have been was blurred out. And he was, like, maybe cute at times. And they were hiding with all these sheep and they put fucking grass on their back. It, like, I think of all their adventures, this one got closest to the tone of the poem where it was truly frightening. Like, I think it was an amazing action sequence, but there was something about it. I was like, this is insane. I'm having a great time. Like,
I had a great, it was pure edge of your seat, like cinema.
The world's loudest scream before
so loud.
Lupita's scream an hour later or whenever that was.
I think he kind of blew it with a couple small choice. Like, he didn't fully commit because he has the one part where, like, the Cyclops speaks, but it's just gibberish. And, like,
I know, that's such an interesting change.
Yeah. And then Odysseus at the end does taunt him, but it doesn't make as much sense because he just shoots an arrow at his eye when he already escaped. Versus the book, like, he's taunting the shit out of him.
Can you run
time.
for the people who only saw the movie? Can you run us through again, the smartest man in the universe, Odysseus, and what he does as they're sailing away?
Yeah. So first of all, he puts himself in this cave of his totally of his own making. They go, they steal some cheese, they steal some sheep. And they're like, hey, should we just, like, get out of here? And he's like, no, do you think if we stay, they're going to give us nicer presents? So that's why he's in the cave, first of all.
Zeus is law, my friend.
No, literally. It's like
Christopher Nolan's been talking about it.
And then...
Wait, can I add one quick note on the film? What the fuck was up with Matt Damon getting a fingerful of cheese from the cave?
You got to dip...
That was disgusting. Just a sack of cheese hanging. He's like, they're making cheese.
Yummy.
That was truly appalling. One of the grossest moments of the movie. Okay, carry on.
It's also gross because, like, you're in a dark cave with a soggy bag full of God knows what. You're just going to taste test it.
Let me rip open this burlap. Holy shit, there's fresh cheese in there.
Yeah. But anyway, the book it's a very funny scene because he debates with the Cyclops, who's kind of keeping them hostage, but it's very verbal sparring. And then they blind him. The Cyclops says, who are you that blinded me? And he says, I'm no one. And when the Cyclops asks for help from his neighbors, he says, no one is hurting me. And it's very funny because they're like, then you're fine.
I had one book note. Shockingly gory description by John Homer of the blinding.
Yeah.
They get this, like, a staff. I think it's his staff, and they break it. It's like green wood, so it takes forever to get it hot. And they have a drill that they put into it so that they can corkscrew the hot staff into his eye, and there's, like, gushing blood. And I didn't think a text from 7th, 8th century BCE would have gushing blood in that way, but it was really nasty.
That's one of the top two depictions in the Odyssey. The other is when Odysseus crashes against a rock face, and it's like an octopus tentacle scraped his skin away. And I was like, oh my God, Homer.
Fascinating.
You dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're equally, like, kind of gory sequences, actually. I thought the movie made it very intense and violent. Just completely different interpretations of how it goes down, though. So, yeah. I mean, to each their own.
Also, when they escape in the film, they put, like, kind of rushes or hay or something on their back so that when he's counting the sheep as they go, they feel like sheep. In the book, Odysseus clings to the underside of a ram, kind of buries himself in the wool. And I think Nolan's just a fucking coward for not having Matt Damon ride a giant sheep upside down.
I think is like Americans could never comprehend how big a sheep was in ancient Greece.
People don't know that they had dinosaur-sized sheep back then, and we want it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, very fun. Very fun.
Yeah. And yes, the giant fuck you to Cyclops, who is apparently large enough to throw off a piece of a mountain at your boat. Very stupid by Odysseus, but
shouldn't taunt the man.
But shit, man. We're on to the next one.
Yeah.
What is the next one? Is it Lotus Eaters?
Well, we actually skip Nausicaa and the Phaeacian in the movie, but that's actually before Cyclops.
Yeah, so should we... I guess we should add a note for movie-only people. The book, I would say, the book... I'm going to keep saying the book because just saying the poem sounds weird to me, and I feel like I was reading a book. In a way, I was. Begins with, like, the Telemachus sequence, I think pretty similar to what you saw in the film. And I think as in the film, Odysseus, when the story starts, is with Calypso. Due to intervention of the gods, he's able to escape Calypso, and he ends up on an island with Nausicaa. Not in the film, but ultimately he's taken in by Nausicaa and her father, and these are the people who he tells the story of the Odyssey to. So that's kind of the framing device in the context of the poem, is these people Nausicaa.
And narratively, he does start with Calypso kind of first, and then after prodding, tells the full story. So, that does feel kind of accurate to the movie, but we do kind of miss out. I understand why he didn't include the sequence, because it's like pretty fun and lighthearted. It's like naked
the silliest island of all of the islands. Okay. So, this is a section for the non-book readers, because I think we have to just go through Nausicaa now. So he escapes Calypso, washes up completely a la mode, baby. He's got no clothes on. He puts a fig leaf over his gonads and approaches a beautiful young woman, which I'm told you're not supposed to do in the workplace.
Such a charmer.
I know. Why is he shy? I feel like he shouldn't be shy after all he's been through. But maybe it's for her benefit.
This is where, like, man, you got to have some adaptation. Like, he's naked and disgusting, and he's just like, you're a very beautiful woman. Like, that's pretty much his opener. And it works. And she's like, oh man, I wish that I was marrying you today instead of the guy I'm
because the woman Nausicaa, you meet Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, shout out. She's like I'm going to call her a princess. I know that word does not make sense, but I think it's probably right to think about it that way. Her wedding day is up next, and I think she probably feels a little weird about meeting a bedraggled but also godlike hot naked guy on the beach. And they're playing, I think, what really is soccer. They kick a ball into a stream, and Odysseus gets it, and that's their meet cute.
It's so cute.
It's wild. Is this the island where Athena makes him magically tall and hot?
It's one of them. She puts like a fog around him so he can kind of nakedly walk into court and stuff.
I'm gonna briefly narrate us to the Olympics.
Good.
So that we're clear. Anyways, he talks to Nausicaa. She gives him some kind of vague directions and says, like, hey, we live up in this cool house. Come talk to my dad and my mom, and supplicate to them, tell them your stories, and we'll take you in and treat you good. He does that. The gods help him out. They disguise him in a fog, and eventually he's able to talk to Nausicaa's parents, and he starts relaying his tale. But very importantly, before he's going to leave their island, they decide to have feats of strength.
And the reasoning I thought was hilarious. They're like, when you go home, we want you to tell people how cool we are.
Guys, I escaped the Cyclops. I escaped Circe. But let me tell you, the Nausicaa people are fucking fast. You would not believe how fast they were.
Yeah.
Normal guys, but much faster. So the big honcho, Nausicaa's dad, he has a bunch of sons, just like he has large sons.
Dumb sons, yeah.
All good at different sports. One is sick at discus, one's great at wrestling, boxing, whatever. They come to Odysseus like, hey, buddy, you're tall and hot. They also comment on how nice his calves are, which I appreciate. They're like, you got to be good at some sports, man. Not as good at us, but, show us something, and show something he does.
He throws a discus further than anyone's thrown a discus on that island before. Flexes his muscles, calls the guy a handsome, empty-headed fool.
And they fucking love this, by the way. Yeah, this goes over. It's gangbusters.
This guy's incredible.
I know that there's no way to make this make any sense in the movie, but goddamn, having like buff dad bod Matt Damon huck a discus, it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah. And this is why my pitch is for a funny rom-com version of the Odyssey. Yeah. This scene would be perfect for it. Jeff Goldblum throwing a discus, flirting with the princess.
They're pretty far. You might want to wait and see. I think what we're trying to convey here is that the tone of the Odyssey, the poem, is diametrically opposed to the tone of the Odyssey, the film.
Like, it is colors, it's flirting, sex,
it's
cool
silly,
scenery.
It's funny.
Silliness,
there's drama, but like, it's wacky. It's like it's way more Gulliver's Travels than it is The Odyssey 2026 by Christopher Nolan.
And to be fair, this is more of the episodes of the Odyssey versus the return to Ithaca, which is, I thought, actually pretty true to the movie. And we'll get there for sure.
Yeah, yeah, another thing that sort of surprised me how accurate how closely the movie followed the poem and the ending. Okay, so I think that's enough Nausicaa, even though I loved it.
Yeah, let's hit a couple new other of the episode highlights.
You want to do a draft?
Yeah,
we like a draft. You go, because I feel like I picked the first. So.
I'm going to start with Aioli Island full of incest.
Well, this island got 2 pages.
No, it got 2 lines. I got 2 lines.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Because I was thinking, I was like, this was barely in this, right?
Yeah, like, no, he's like, and then we went to Aioli Island where everybody married their sister and brother.
They had exactly 12 sons, 12 daughters. They all banged. And we left.
That place wasn't very chill, and we got the fuck out of there. Next.
Okay. I think let's keep the theme of places we ain't going to talk about that much. A lot was made about the Lystragonians, whatever the fuck they are, how short that was in the film. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you, it's really short in the book, too.
Yeah. I actually thought this was my favorite, like, scene for scene shot. It's a little different the way they enter in the book.
It's like
they
go
up
different.
And they talk to the princess.
They remark on how ugly the queen is, which I thought, it's a little unnecessary. She's 400 feet tall, so you're probably not going to find her attractive.
Mm-hmm. And again, they are denied the hospitality of Zeus and are summarily eaten by the giant people.
And, there's no symmetry, because I think they did just fine for, breaking Zeus's law.
Yeah.
So what do you think was going through Christopher Nolan's head? He's reading the poem. He's trying to write this script. And he's like, what if I had a kid just scream at the top of his lungs instead of doing what's in the poem?
I kind of loved it, man. Because we have enough palace scenes with the whole Telemachus at home and Ithaca stuff going on. Like, we didn't need that, and we didn't need some debate. Just have this
screaming child fight scene. Get the fuck out of there.
And it captures the anxiety of Odysseus telling the story in the book of just like, and then they wrecked the fuck out of all of our ships. Like, these guys destroyed us.
Yeah, it's
more people died with the Lystragonians than like in any other part of the book.
Yeah, I mean that's correct. Yeah, his fleet was completely decimated. And that's also just one of the weird things about reading something from so long ago is how quickly the decimation of his fleet can be described.
Yeah.
It's like no attention is lavished on that, but like you get descriptions of feasts for pages on end.
Or how about the one
guy?
All
of my men died. Next.
How about the one guy who took a header off of Circe's hut and they have to literally go back to her island and bury him?
Jesus Christ.
So the one guy, they have a whole carve out section for versus these 80 sailors who got killed by freakish giant babies.
This is definitely like pre-people really studying narrative structure. You can tell Save the Cat hadn't been written. It's just not a tight 90-minute screenplay. Oh,
like,
man.
Are you having fun with the thrilling part of the story? Odysseus says, I'm tired. I don't want to tell this anymore. Is that a fun way to end this chapter?
This is my story about Odysseus' journey. I'm going to start with half of the book being about his son figuring out where he is and not succeeding.
Would you like me to describe how many cubits should be in this sacrifice field?
It really is a strange thing, man. I think the reasons for this are lost to time.
Yeah. Anyway.
I guess. Okay. You're up next. Next island, baby.
We're going to Circe Island.
I know. Yeah, we have to do Circe. Okay.
This is also roughly in chronological order of the book. So,
I know it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Nolan was not ready for a sexy Circe. He's too chaste. He's too English. You can't do it.
I mean, in fact, there's zero sex anywhere in this book or in the movie. So,
okay. So in the film, she's an old crone who does backwoods plastic surgery on men to turn them into pigs, which was gross.
That was a really cool scene. I thought that was fascinating and really well done.
It was horrible and really good.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Body horror at its finest.
Yeah, just good old-fashioned body horror.
And eating the innards, man, that was just really
gross.
Oh,
dude, no. It was just like they were eating a disgusting bowl of menudo. All tripe.
Yeah.
Give me the all tripe menudo. Thank you. Yeah, that was so, especially like me, because you know how I hate mouth sounds. Mm-hmm. I'm really sensitive to eating noises. That at rock concert volumes was really unpleasant for me. So in the book, like, I don't know, I think the lead up is fairly similar, except one, Circe is stunning. And she's the goddess of, quote, the beautiful braids. I don't know. Dude, that was good. She's got good looking braids. But it's more or less similar. Like the guys get turned into pigs. Odysseus was back. Another thing, a god tells him that his men were turned into pigs. It's not
well,
just
I
like
actually think an important part is
thing.
his crew mutinies in the movie.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
And they certainly don't in the book. There's no mention of it. There's one guy who doesn't want to go back to Cersei's hut after he saw what happened.
Can I? Well, actually,
Yeah.
I think that was meant to cover up for the Bag of Winds mutiny.
Okay, fair enough.
I think maybe we'll get to that in a future island if we do the Bag of the Winds.
It's kind of I actually think it's just a throwaway. We might as well talk about it now. At a certain point, Odysseus gets a gift, which is a bag of winds that he's not supposed to open. His crew defies him, opens it while he's sleeping. It fucks everything up. He drifts back to the shore.
They think that he has gold in the Bag of Winds and that he's brought home like spoils from the war and they're not going to get any of it. They were on the shores of Ithaca when this happens, by the way. They said they're so close they could see the fires. Like they were home. And this is early in the Odyssey. And his dumb fuck friends open the Bag of Winds, sends him all the way back to the island where they got the Bag of Winds. They go in to talk to, hey, do you have any more bags of winds?
They're like, get the hell out.
And they're like, you must be cursed if that didn't work. No, thank you. Goodbye. Good luck with the six-headed monster.
Yeah. So to be fair, this is Nolan combining a couple episodes together, which I thought was actually, it's perfectly creative and cool.
Yeah, I think pretty tidy. A lot of that was done. Okay, so here's the important thing about Cersei. Odysseus shows up and Cersei says, my bad, I'll fix him. However, what if we fucked right now? And Odysseus, kind man that he is, again, dying to get home to Penelope, says, I would never go to bed with you unless you promise not to hurt me. And she says, I will not hurt you. And then they fuck.
And he's like, should we pop a little Molly first?
How about it, though? Hermes gave me some drugs.
And he does that for a year. Let's be clear.
Odysseus, objectively a bad guy. And no, he is not Matt Damon riddled with grief. He's out here fucking goddesses with beautiful braids while his men are pigs.
Until his men are like, yo, you think we should maybe head out soon?
I kind of like it here, though.
Nice.
Yeah. Odysseus is really just banging his way across the Mediterranean. I think it's kind of the gist of the story.
Yeah. I think I don't. There's not too many other islands hopping.
We've got Hades Town.
Somebody should have written down the dead summoning plot, because in the book it's like a 3-page set of oral instructions that are very specific.
Again, another thing that got more lines than the destruction of his fleet was how to summon people from the underworld.
Hey, talk about a skimmer of a chapter. The endless parade of names that I didn't care about that he talks to in the underworld, which I think he spent a year there also just talking to people.
It's the time stuff just like made so little sense to me that I just had to ignore it. It's like, if I think about them being there for a year, it's just the whole story unravels.
For me, it started to make sense because it's like, this is the cameo section of a really long bard tale where you throw in all the updates to all the other famous characters in like literature at the time. It's like, you remember Achilles? Yeah, this is what happened to him.
Man.
Like, you remember this guy from that other story? He's here too. Like, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense for an oral storytelling tradition at the time or something. It's like the gossip rag at the end of the newspaper, you know?
Got a crazy revelation. Achilles, who is dead, wishes he was not dead.
But
fascinating.
Really unfun to read from my perspective.
No, I'm going to keep it a buck with you because John Homer's dead and he's not going to hear this. 2/3 of this poem were slog for me. The third that was just Odyssey was banging.
That's the most fun I had for sure. The beginning and the end are a little skippable. I hate to say it.
Yeah, on it. Like, if you're curious about the Odyssey, this is pure sacrilege. But again, I just don't care that much. It's 24 books, chapters, whatever you want to call them. If you just look up which ones are just his narration of the Odyssey, that's like a tight 80 to 100 pages.
It's 6 to 12, basically.
I would highly recommend those. Like, if you're not digging the Telemachus stuff, just read the Odyssey. Like, that section is wonderful. And I think there's a reason that what history has remembered is that section of the poem.
Right. And a couple highlights from him shooting an arrow at the end. But
Yeah.
if you want to understand a lot of pop culture references, modern literature references, character names, like that's the section to go for, you know?
Yeah, it's really fun. So Hades, we did the Bag of the Winds.
I think we
I
just got
guess
Calypso.
I think I guess just Lotus Eaters. I don't think there's a tremendous amount to say.
No.
Calypso. So, yeah, I think reasonably similar to the film.
Uh-huh.
Um, does she successfully seduce Odysseus? That's my question to you.
So no.
There's some troubling stuff that's happening with her and Odysseus, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, she is offering Odysseus immortality. She wants him to stay. She's also like kind of using him to get back at the gods, who,
Yeah,
in her opinion, get to sleep around with whoever they want. So why can't she?
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a horrible line about like how they've been going to bed, and it says like her willing, him unwilling. It's like, oh man.
yeah.
Though that's maybe undercut by like some stuff later where he seems to be quite willingly going. I don't know.
It's
There's a
strange.
complicated and bad dynamic, I think, going on here.
Yeah, and Nolan explains it away in his version by saying, "Well, Odysseus was high the whole time on Lotus, and so he doesn't even remember home." I think it's a cop out, right? Because this is one of like I think the larger questions about the whole thing is like, you know, are Odysseus and Penelope right for each other? Is he like really a good man? Is he faithful? Like, because this whole quest is to get home to his wife, but he could have left Calypso. Like, he's there for 7 years, remembering his wife is
like
a short couple islands away.
I mean, if you just think about the strangeness of Odysseus and Penelope's reunion in the film, had he banged a hot Circe for a year? Like, it obviously makes sense why Christopher Nolan cut that, but like the figure of Odysseus as penned by John Homer is a motherfucker. Like, he's not at all. And let's not let Calypso off. Awful. And she has a horrible line for she's like, hey, by the way, your wife is fucking old now.
Yeah.
And even if she weren't old, look at me, man.
Yeah.
She don't got a body like this.
Yeah. Which is where I just think it fell short in the movie for me, where she's just like really regretful and feels bad and like is trying to help him. And that's just not how it went at all. Like the gods had to intervene.
I could have done with a spiteful, fucked up, weird Calypso.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Also, should Odysseus have been hotter?
So this is where like I think you had to make a choice as a filmmaker, because in the book, Athena is always either making him hot or old. Like, so Nolan's like, oh, I can't do that, man. Like, come on.
That'd be great if it was like played by two characters. It's like Sir Ian McKellen and that guy from Bridgerton season 1.
Exactly. Like that would have been. So I'm like, I have no problem with picking a middle ground, Matt Damon, whose female stunt doubles biceps are the envy of many a man.
I don't know about this. You got a jacked female body or stunt double?
Yeah, his stunt double is a lady, and there's all the there's some funny like kind of right wing discourse online about like, yeah, it's good to see like a jacked guy on the screen, and it's like those were close ups of her biceps, my friend.
Incorrect. Yeah, there's some jacked ladies out there.
Yeah.
Also, a quick side note: John Homer was a very vain kind of skin deep man.
Yeah.
Not a character goes by without their hotness being commented upon.
Yes. Wise allies Athena sees
right,
only hot or not.
Yeah, that really is it. And I think the gods just descend from the heavens to bang the hottest of the people. Yeah. Whatever. It's Greece, man.
That's Greece. We're vain, baby.
Calypso. Fucking, I regret to inform you we must now talk about Telemachus.
Yeah, we're back home.
Yeah. Listen, this is not a plot hole at all. When Tom Holland was talking to Matt Damon, I was like, that's your dad, dude. How do you not recognize him? The answer is that he's basically never seen his dad.
Right.
But did me watching the movie know that? No, I did not. I was like, what is this? What, he's just got a beard and he doesn't know him now? It's
They're like,
driving me crazy.
Didn't they have all those photos of him at home?
Yeah, what happened, man? They're hanging out.
I mean, it is funny that in the book, Athena makes him literally an old, disfigured beggar, basically.
Yeah.
And in the movie, he just puts a robe on.
Okay. So my point about Tom Holland does apply to Odysseus v. every other person that he encounters.
Yes, his swineherd and Penelope and whoever else. Yeah.
Man, I knew how long the movie was before I saw it. But when he got back to Ithaca with 40 minutes remaining, I was like, oh, I think I got the time wrong. Surely we're not going to have 40 minutes of this.
To be fair, it's 10 books of the Odyssey.
Had I known that at the time, I would not have had so many questions. Yeah. Okay. What do you even want to say about this?
I mean, a couple of things for me, like, I thought it was pretty faithful from this point on. Like,
yeah,
the beggar stuff happens, throwing the stool, plotting.
There's so many funny details that that I did not expect to be in the poem. Yeah. Stool throw. Crazy.
Awesome.
Taking all the weapons and putting them upstairs, like
hilarious.
I thought that was just like a little set piece that they had written.
No.
But John Homer wrote that one.
Yeah. Argos the puppy being there wagging his little tail.
Crazy, still there. Don't make your dog sleep on a dung heap. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I think the only big difference, I mean, obviously there's some differences. We're not going to go shot for shot, but the Telemachus and Odysseus fighting together in the temple against the 20 bandits was just a wild interpretation.
The knaves and ne'er-do-wells they sent. Yeah, that was
in
silly.
The book. He just sails a different direction.
Yeah,
makes it home perfectly fine, and there's no confrontation.
That's pure Hollywood, baby. Just we need some swords.
Like, fuck it, we haven't had a fight in a while. And then this is Robert Pattinson just shining through. I had a blast.
Okay, perfect. Like, so my note on Arpat, I don't think Antinous is like a draft dodger in Homer's Odyssey.
So the whole Sinan arc is pretty movie only. Which I actually thought was fun. Like, I think it's he feels more just like stock. He's the representative suitor in the Odyssey, the book. But like, I sort of like that they gave him a little more color. Like, we needed someone hateable. And he's just a little more clever than the average suitor and talks more in the book, So it was good that they had a little bit of a backstory.
Mm-hmm. We have somehow not brought up Odysseus's bow.
Yes.
How'd the sound make you feel?
Horny.
Boing. Boing indeed.
Boing. I loved it, man. I thought like the first scene where he plucks the bow and the soundtrack kicks in. Mm-hmm. Fucking hit, man. Like, talk about music in a Nolan movie. God, his soundtracks are good.
That's another thing that I think got to the tone of the poem. It was like, the bow making that sound is a little silly. It rocks. That's great. So cool. It doesn't matter that it's silly. The one thing that bothered me about the bows, did you notice how they were shooting bows?
Oh,
they kept like fucking holding them low and silent. Was that? What's up with that?
I don't know.
I've done if you can do that, man.
I've done no research if that's how the Greeks actually shot their bows. So I
know that's
no
not how anyone
here.
else shoots bows, and I think it'd be really hard to shoot birds out of the air, which Andrew Tate and Tom Holland were doing. The test that Penelope has stringing the bow, that was one of those moments where it's like, God damn it, John Homer. You really did it. That's just is so iconic. And that was one of those things that was like, it's so cool that this story from almost 3,000 years ago feels that good. Just like has a moment, like just perfect structure. Like it's just great, man. It's so cool.
No notes. I totally agree with you. It rocks.
Yeah.
And hearing that pluck before he shoots there's the other annoying suitor, and I can't remember his name. He shoots him right in the throat. I was like, this rocks.
Brutal. Okay. My one complaint about the fight scene is they've taken out all the weapons except for the axes that they bound together for him to shoot. Why does he start doing the whirlwind with those axes? He gets them and just starts spinning like a top, which would be bad for him and probably wouldn't hurt anyone else because he's not spinning fast enough.
Yeah. This is where I think it's tough because the book like has Athena basically getting his arrows for him and throwing them back to him, so that he has unlimited ammo. And it was hard for Nolan, I think, Like, how do I realistically have this guy kill 100 people in a room with like 4 arrows?
And the answer, just do it. And
spinning.
I don't know. Yeah. Of course it's a little silly, but
Whatever.
I mean, I think the answer is fuck it. He's Odysseus, man.
Yeah. Fuck it. This guy's sick.
I can't believe we didn't discuss this yet. What did you think about Athena becoming kind of a projection of his own conscience?
Yeah.
We get the scene where she, if we're taking it literally, which
Right.
I think most people are, that she's a woman who was killed in the sack of Troy and becomes the embodiment of Athena to him.
Yeah, assumedly also an interpretation of like the rejection of Zeus's law, like that they come in and kill an innocent in their own temple after being invited in as a gift, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it works for his message. I don't like it. Like, I don't love the message as a whole. I think that what he did using that as a vehicle for it was clever and made sense. And it also was like a good visual story to tell of just like the statue being beheaded. And I thought it worked fine for what he wanted to do. I just don't like, there's no regret in Odysseus John Homer version. There's no like oopsies. Like,
no, he's here to fucking rock out and bang chicks and get home to his wife.
Yeah.
I will say, to move past that stupid remark I just made, the whole like gift thing. Okay, so yes, they trick the Trojans and the horse and blah blah blah. Everyone knows, and it seems in the world of the film that's the great sin of Odysseus. I think, like, if you want to hear a better articulated version of the point I'm going to make, like, do check out Emily Wilson's review. But I think this is the thing that was rubbing me when I left the movie theater, was for all the shit we hear about Zeus's law and Xenia, the movie like isn't consistent with the way that it views violence, because it seems that the greatest crime was that they tricked the Trojans in war, but then he can go and kill the suitors and it's completely fine. So it's almost like it's like a technical mistake. Like they caught him on a foot fault by using a trick, but had they just barged down the gates and killed the people in the same way, it would have been fine.
And I think there's also the argument to make, if you look backwards, that like Paris came into the home of like Menelaus or Agamemnon and took Helen. Like, whether Helen was a willing participant is like up for debate, but you like took a man's wife away from his home. Like they, you know, if you want to play the blame game all the way back, like nobody is nobody's safe.
No, and like if you're really kind of weighing fault, probably the people who have done the least harm are the suitors.
Sure.
They suck. Like, don't get me wrong. They're like scrambling, power hungry little motherfuckers. Don't like, I have no sympathy for them really, but like they're probably relatively low on the list of people who needed to be shot in the throat.
Right. Like objectively, they haven't killed anyone.
No,
they're just dicks.
They suck, but like, you know, and I don't know. I just, if there are some wrinkles that needed to be ironed out. And I think for a movie that was like really staking a lot of its weight on that one point, to have it be so unsure of itself was really fucking weird. And I think that's what held me back from really liking it as much as some other people.
Yeah. I'll actually, because Mendelssohn is the translator whose version that we read for this. He has a fantastic intro and forward, and I agree a lot with one of the points that he makes, and this is in the same vein of what you're talking about. Like, for me, I really think that the tale of Odysseus is like survival at all costs and enjoying life. It's like everything is about staying alive and enjoying life. And like Odysseus has no line he won't cross to stay alive and get home. And he also, like, when something fun presents itself, he's gonna do it. Like, those are his two guiding principles, and that's pretty much his entire moral code. And to come up with this entire like new set of like anti-war, anti-violence morals, I think it's a choice for sure. It's just a different choice than I think the book made.
That was one of the interesting things about seeing the movie before reading the poem, was I was expecting Nolan's themes to be more latent in the text. And they weren't there as much as I thought that they were going to be. I thought, like, oh, okay, here's the part where that Nolan really latched onto.
Well,
And the reading he came up with is, if you gave 100 people the poem, I don't know if anyone would come up with that reading.
no. And there's another point we haven't talked about much, but this idea of like, are you the same person as when you left? Like in the book, he really has to prove to Penelope, even after killing the suitors, that he is Odysseus. And it like ends up coming down to some not like random lore trivia he knows about an olive tree through their bed, right? Like, and she's like, it's you. But like this whole idea of like, you're not the same person as you were when you came back is just flattened in the movie to be like, he is the exact same man despite all of these adventures and trials and tribulations and choices. And I'm going to recognize him immediately because of his soul. Like it's the same. So they're like categorically different choices of interpreting the message of Odysseus.
Yeah. It's just a different character.
Yeah, totally.
Who does the same thing. I think like part of the weirdness that I perceived is like trying to be faithful to the plot while tacking on to it a new message.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing to do. And I think he did a pretty credible job of it. But like, how do you turn banging Cersei for a year into a story of like the horrors of war? And it's a really weird thing.
Again, I want my Jeff Goldblum flirting on all the islands version of this.
That would be great. The Monty Python version of this would be awesome, and the Nolan version can be awesome too. But they're different things. Okay. You know what? Hey, Travis, take a load off. I got this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to lead the way, my friend.
I'm going to vamp for a couple of minutes.
A fun little FAQ section.
All right, listeners. Here I am answering questions you might have had about the Odyssey. Question 1. Did John Homer actually write the Odyssey? In short, it's complicated. Traditional view is that one guy, 8th, maybe 7th centuries BC, wrote it. There is the oral tradition view, which Daniel Mendelsohn, our translator, is a fan of. And part of the reason people think like it's an offshoot of an oral tradition is that there are a lot of repeated phrases. If you pick up the Mendelsohn translation, this may or may not drive you insane like it did me. Every time
every Athena description.
Every Athena is Athena of the bright owl eyes. And Telemachus is my favorite. Sensible lad. Sensible lad. Yeah. And like Penelope's level-headed woman or something.
Handsome Odysseus.
Yeah. It's there's just a lot of repetition. So people think that points to this being something that was really spoken, and the repetition is, innate of memory. Compilation theory is a minority opinion that many authors contributed. So the kind of rough consensus is at this point is that it's like kind of a combination of 1 and 2. It's like part of an oral tradition, but John Homer is probably the one to like give the poem its shape, and that's kind of what we know as the Odyssey. Okay. Number 2, this is a question that I asked. Did Greeks actually practice religion around the Greek gods in the time of John Homer, or was it really just a mythology? A short answer, yeah. Temples, sacrifices, prayers, all that shit, they were doing it. They were burning thigh bones. This was a real religion. However, the stories, again, because this was like in some ways pre-literate, like the myths were told differently in many different places. And my understanding is that they weren't like as sacred as I think some of the religious stories that we know. And probably because they were sort of told orally, and they were like necessarily going to change. And I think the understanding is that people didn't always take them literally.
Yeah, it's a little more fluid.
Like representative of Athena, but it's not like she became a bird and whatever. Anyways, okay, next. Was there an actual Trojan horse? More importantly, was there an actual Trojan War? The war, yeah, probably, but it was like 12th, 13th century BC. So what we're going on is like excavation of sites, and there's like a layer on top of a layer, and yeah, it could have been, but like we really have very little to go on. The horse, given that we are relying on archaeology for an entire war, we do not know if there was a horse made out of wood. So lost to time.
Yeah.
And finally, this was my favorite one to research. How do we even have the Odyssey today? Well, let me tell you. Oldest fragments date to 3rd century BC in Egypt. It was written on papyrus, and we had fragments of it, but I guess our understanding from the time is that like the story was well known in the Greek-speaking world. But the most important figure in the history of Homer is a man called Aristarchus of Samos. He was the head librarian of the Library of Alexandria. And he did what I understand is like a canonization process of all of the different fragments of Homer that went around, line by lines, like this one feels wrong, this one feels right. And he sort of collated the thing that became the Odyssey as we know it. And he did the same thing for the Iliad, is at least my understanding. And the oldest complete manuscripts that we have are from the 10th century AD, Byzantium type things. So, anyways, you have a nice librarian from Alexandria to thank for all the Homer being around.
Shout out librarians.
That's all I got for you. Yeah, shout out librarians, man.
I love that. I also looked up a couple FAQs. Thank you for Claude for scraping Reddit for me to find. It was frequently asked questions of moviegoers who have not read the books.
Oh,
so,
okay.
A good niche. Was Odysseus faithful to Penelope? No. Moving on.
CEG, this podcast.
Why does Poseidon curse Odysseus? So we've talked about blinding the Cyclops as one of the episodes. The Cyclops is canonically the son of Poseidon, or one of the sons of Poseidon. So he really didn't like that. But even before that point, he hated Odysseus because he favored Troy in the war. And Odysseus tricking Troy to sack it really irked the Earthshaker. So he fucked with Odysseus.
He broke
Zeus's law. So he fucked with him from the beginning, and then the more prideful and boastful he got while blinding the Cyclops and refusing to make sacrifices to him, he just got more and more angry. That's pretty much it. Those are the only two that you didn't cover. How much of the movie is actually in the original poem? Listen to our episode, my friends.
Yeah. Pretty accurate. It's like weird. It's weird. It's like inaccurate on themes, but quite accurate on events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is an interesting way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we went long. I kind of thought this was going to be a short app.
I think we'll cut 5 or 10 minutes from it, but
our AI editor will recommend cutting most of the episode.
No, I actually think it's pretty smooth. We mix some FAQs in, but
any parting thoughts on your week-long cruise through Greece?
I had actually a lot of fun reading the poem. It was just a lot more lighthearted than I remember. Also, partly because I was forced to translate this from Latin back in high school in segments. So while it might have been a very fun book to read, it was not at that point when I first consumed it. So a lot more fun to skim through on my Kindle on the train.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a blast. I'm glad we get to do a book and a movie again. This is one of my favorite traditions.
Really fun. And just like, I'd never read the Odyssey. I read like the first half of it in college, not for a class. So really all I remembered was Telemachus, like him. Yeah, all I remembered was like the setup and then, whatever I knew from pop culture. So it's fun to check it off the list.
Yeah.
I want to be a mythology head. I really want to replay Hades now. Because I feel like I kind of know the cast. I don't know. And it's just fun. Like we've been just ripping so much modern fantasy.
Yeah.
I feel like I got our brains working again a little bit,
Yeah. It's it.
We're back to wet brain theory.
And it's
we had dry
fun.
brains.
God, it was fun to read like a foreword. I hadn't read a good foreword in a long time.
Yeah.
And Mendelssohn did I really recommend the Mendelssohn one.
Yeah.
It's long. It's 50 or 60 pages. But man, to get thinking about literary theory and translation again, he did a great job talking through the themes.
It's just so fun, like having these resources. Like no one has written a 60-page academic foreword to Of Blood and Fire, though I would love to
Not
read
yet.
it. So it feels like we're just kind of like out on our own on an island. Shout out Odysseus, reading like most of the books we cover for this pod. But it's just so fun, just like having resources and just, I don't know. It's history, it's literature, it's everything.
I mean, a lot of the books that we read on the pod now don't even have like a wiki, much less a full researched article about
It's funny looking at like those episodes, how much we're just like wildly speculating about shit. Have we met this character before? Like there's no question you have about the Odyssey that hasn't been answered a million times. So, it's funny that I felt more pressure talking about this as opposed to like a book with an author who's alive and trying to make a living. Should probably care more about those.
It's like we should probably think about the ridiculous shit we say about Cahill, given that we had a very fun conversation with him as an alive author.
We
But no,
promote his
John
books,
Homer.
man. We promote Kyle's books, but we respect John Homer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With that, what do we have on the classic announcements section? Hour half in.
We got the
The
ice,
ice.
baby.
The ice baby. Ice baby.
Baby.
And then the next Chungus, I think we're just going to do Empires and Dust.
Yeah, we gotta. I think we're just going to go back to back.
And then the end of Kyle. Well, I think there's another novella, but basically end of Kyle.
Yeah. So we'll be wrapping up Cahill, I'd say mid-September-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, stay tuned. I think we'll go into Buellman next. Maybe a little Hobb, if we're feeling frisky.
If anyone has strong feelings about Buellman v. Hobb v. Mystery Third Option, please email us. We're pretty persuadable. So
yes, we are.
With that, go out and be nice to a beggar.
You never know if they're God in disguise. Don't do it out of the goodness of your heart, though.
If you're 100% sure that the beggar is not a god, spit on him. Goodbye.